What's up, guys? Anboni here. What's up? Haven't seen you in a long time. I have a lot more free time, so I can stream every day, almost. And I want to say create YouTube videos every day, but I know I won't do it every day. But I'll try my best to do it as often as I can, alright? Let's just say that. So it's good to be back. Now I'm not gonna only make Shadow Priest videos. Most of them are gonna be just Shadow Priest videos. But I'm gonna do some different stuff. You'll probably see this Sunday what I mean. But hey, I have a lot of time now. Oops, sorry about that. I have a lot of time now, and also it's gonna be a really long season, so we have plenty of time for everything. Arena, BGs, 2v2, whatever you want. I don't have alpha yet, and I probably never will. But you know, the expansion's coming out, so there's a sea of content ahead of us. So just wanted to let you guys know that I'm back, and let's get right into this video. So today I want to share some threes we played yesterday. Well, I played yesterday, and I played FPP, which is Feral Priest Paladin, and also Ret SP Shaman. They're both pretty good comps, very solid this season. And by the way, it looks like we're not getting any changes for PvP this season, or maybe we will eventually because it's a very long season. But I mean, everybody was expecting changes yesterday, and no changes happened. I don't know, we'll see. But right now, you know, FPP and Red Shadow Priest Resto Shaman are really good comps. So that's why I played, and I'm gonna share a couple of good games and a couple of terrible games. So follow me, and let's jump into game number one. Jungle Cleave is a pretty strong comp, but I mean, our comp has a decent chance against pretty much everything. Pretty much, not everything. A big thing in this game is that the priest is playing adaptation. That means he doesn't have a regular well, he has a human trinket, but he can't get out of a lot of things. So my feral goes in and bashes the priest to get his adaptation. So now that's out of the way. So we have 1 minute to CC the priest. Like, we have a full minute, but the problem is, you know, they pop incarnation, they pop a lot of damage, so we're kind of forced defensive. Arno, which is my paladin, by the way, I'm gonna call him Arno. He sacks me on the trap, which is amazing. He doesn't have to trinket, and he gets a hodge on the priest, and then I silence, and then we have no more CC, and they still have Incarn, and they have the upper hand here. They have a lot of pressure. Obviously, they force Incarn, they force the wall from my feral, and I think they will force bubble as well, because we all get way too low, and Arno just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna wall. I'm just gonna bubble. And by the way, you can check in the bottom left corner all the buttons I press. It's called Trophy GCD, it's the add-on. And if you guys want me to, I can have the same for all my teammates, okay? Just let me know. So anyway, Arno bubbles for pressure, and then he gets a full repentance on the priest out of a stun. Then I use my racial, which by the way, I love the Void Elf racial, is amazing for playing fear. And I get the Void Elf racial to fear the priest. Then he gets bashed, he human trinkets the bash, and I think he gets put into a DR repentance. Meanwhile, obviously my feral had Incarn, so we're tunneling damage into their feral, and out of the DR incap, the priest gets silenced, and the feral just dies. So that was, you know, they had too much damage and too much CC, and that was a pretty much a textbook game, more or less. RMPs, I mean, everybody knows RMP is very strong, but you know, it's not unbeatable, and you know, the skill cap for RMP is pretty high, so they are very strong. But hey, if they make mistakes, we can win. So I get the mage out, but my healer still gets sapped somehow, and the rogue opens on me. That's an Ebon Bolt, so most of the time I will have to disperse against the RMP in the opener, which is fine. It's a fair trade, but especially if he uses Ebon Bolt. Now if that was Ebon Bolt with the Icy Veins, I would have pre-dispersed, like, while the Ebon Bolt was being casted, otherwise I would have died. But it was just a blank Ebon Bolt, so I didn't have to disperse that. But I disperse anyway, and then the priest runs in for a fear, but Arno gets a hodge on him into a repentance, and when the repentance happens, the mage blocks, and the priest also trinkets, so they kind of messed that one up. Probably they're not on voice, I'm not sure. I have no idea actually. And here's their go, but Arno, my healer, gets a sack there, you see it right there, on the sheep, so I'm okay, no problem. So far, they forced a dispersion, and that's about it. Like, I was never in any kind of pressure. Obviously, my damage is not very high because, as you can see, I'm getting sheeped, and then I'm getting stunned. I'm either dead or sheeped. That's the story of the game. But hey, I'm a Void Elf, so I get a sneaky little silence and sneaky little fear on the priest. Now, this is a very scary moment because I get kidney shotted. Luckily, my feral was in the smoke bomb, so I get the swap. That was really scary. I would have definitely died there if the Feral didn't come in the bomb for me. But I managed to swap, and then I also get CS. Like they're locking me down as much as they can, so my damage is really poop. But hey, you know, what can you do? Shadow Priest life. So we're CC the Priest still. I think we got a Repentance there, and then we got a Bash. Now we got a Hodge. Now I have a Fear back, so I'm running in for that Fear. And here, I remember this moment exactly. I was really trying to MC the Rogue into Ring of Frost. Because a few games before this, we managed to win a game by me MCing their healer into their Ring of Frost. And we won the game of that, and I was so proud. So I tried too hard to get the Rogue into Ring of Frost. That was kind of stupid. But I pre-MD the sheep, so I redeemed myself there with a pre-MD on the polymorph. And I remember, oh yeah, by the way, I have a Fear. So I go in for the Fear, I get the freedom on the Fear, because I asked for it. And the mage gets a second block, and the priest has his trinket back. So, but he has no PS now, and we have a lot of long CC chain coming. And that right there was a little trick I told you about a while back. I don't know if you guys remember it, but I'll tell you in a sec. So we get the priest in silence, then repentance, and the mage dies, and the priest, I don't know, he had trinket, but I guess he saved it. Right there, when the mage is in block and the rogue is in cloak and the priest is in a CC you can't break, it feels like you have nothing to do. I could have tried to MD, I guess. I should have MD'd, but a lot of times against RMP I like to save MD for a polymorph. But I guess I could have gotten away with just MDing that. But what I did is I void torrented into ice block, and that gives me 4 seconds of extra void form without void form draining. So it's pretty cool. I do that a lot of times actually against RMP, because against RMP you don't really get to cast a full void torrent anyway, unless they're running. Anyway, let's jump into the third game. Oh my god, I remember this game. So, same scenario, RMP, same map, everything's the same. I try to get them out, I don't get them out this time. And I'm in a pretty decent spot here. Arno gets sapped, so I line of sight so that the rogue doesn't shadow step to me, but he gets to me anyway with sprint. And here, I'm lining the mage, and the rogue opens on me, and there's orb, and I'm lining everything, and I'm like, I'm so happy that I don't have to disperse the opener. So instead, what do? I start casting a Shadow Mend, and I get locked. And I just die without dispersing. That was the worst decision ever. It was so good that I didn't have to disperse, because the rogue just went off me to peel for his mage. But then I completely fucked it up with that Shadow Mend. Okay, so this game is a Walking Dead with a Mistweaver monk, obviously Crane. And he's playing Relentless, which means he cannot get out of CC at all, except stuns with Crane. So we open the game, the DK instantly IBFs, because he's not Frost, I mean he's unholy, so he just wants to put the pressure out. And he puts a lot of pressure out, because I'm kind of dead. I have to disperse instantly. There's so many pets, there's so much CC. I get sacked here, good sack, otherwise I would have been dead for sure. And as you can see, through that sack, my paladin is dying. Like, they have a lot of damage in the start. And I just got a fear off in the start, and they didn't really do anything. Now I can go in void form, and we can actually start doing damage and CC. So we have a full repentance on the healer, into a full fear, into a full hodge. Meanwhile, we're just doing damage on the DK. And then I have a silence, so I can do a big shadow crash. And now DK is kind of dying, I get bopped. And now they're gonna have Crane back any second now. They should have Crane any second. The DK pops his corpse shield, so that keeps him alive as well. By the way, I use my Void Elf Rachel here to get back on the bridge because my healer was in a stun. But he also bubbles the stun, which was kind of an overlap. But I didn't know he'd bubble, he didn't know I would teleport. But anyway, the healer gets repentanced into a full fear. He has Crane, so he's gonna top his team. Right here he pops Crane. I got a mind control on the Crane, so he doesn't heal with it. But Crane is super strong, so as soon as he gets on me and connects like 1 global or 2 globals, they're all back to full HP. It doesn't even have to connect to me apparently. It connects to my Feral, and they're all full HP again. But as you can see, the CC chain is gonna be pretty short here, and it's gonna be over. So we get a bash into a silence, into a big bite, into just a random damage, and the DK goes down. And the thing is, we had also repentance, I had fear back, like we had a lot of cooldowns. We're on a timer because we're just going through holy paladin cooldowns, and then we're gonna die. But we have plenty of chances to finish the game off. So that was the game. GG. And now the last game I'm gonna show you is the red Shadow Priest Resto Shaman, and it's against Sidu, Mess, and Venruki. Yes, of course, I had to add this one. Now, disclaimer, they're from NA and they play on EU, so obviously they're lagging. Plus, I'm pretty sure they had really bad gear in right now, I'm pretty sure they're very undergeared. They have their talents and everything, but they're very undergeared. But hey, I gotta post that, you know? So game starts, they're playing Walking Dead with the Shaman. It's very annoying for me to play against Walking Dead, because you'll see why. They rotate their kicks very, very well. So I get kicked on everything. I think I got maybe 1 VT so far, maybe 2. And now they have their kicks back. As soon as they don't have kicks, they start stunning me. So I never have a breathing room at all. And if you check my DPS, I'm doing like no DPS at all. Meanwhile, my red is doing crazy DPS because he's cleaving everyone. And I'm getting kicked after kick after kick. And I'm trying my best here to put pressure on the Shaman, so he keeps Earth Shield on himself. And meanwhile, I just keep the DPS here and I try to cleave them down. And as soon as I get to my Void form, which is now, I can start actually doing some damage. But again, as soon as I'm in Void form, they start stunning me and my Void form is done. And I disperse here because I was a little scared. I suddenly dipped very low. And maybe it was a kind of a panic dispersion, but my healer was also stunned. So I think it's better to be safe than sorry. So we're back to just, and meanwhile somehow I managed to perform a miracle and actually get dots on everyone. So, and now they have their kicks back though, so gotta be careful about that. I'm just using Shadow Repay. I'm trying to juke as much as I can. I juke one of them there, and the other one does kick me. But now they have no kicks, so I can actually do some really nice damage here and see do Hodge into a Silence, into a big Void Torrent. I was 100% sure he was gonna die here because he's not casting anything, but he somehow survives that. And I get a double fear just so I can finish him off, but I just couldn't. And DK Trinkets, the monk gets dispelled. So now, I remember this because I watched his stream as well. I remember they went back on my Paladin because they wanted to stay on the Paladin and grip me in. But that's a big mistake because as soon as that happens, I get some breathing room, and look how high my damage, how fast it spikes up. It did. I mean, I was last in damage. Now I'm second. So now they kind of jump off. They're obviously in a really bad situation right now because they're all really low. My red is training Sidu, so he doesn't have a really, like, it's hard for him to top everyone off and keep himself alive. And here we get a Hodge into a Silence, and he just dies. And again, they weren't very geared, and they're from NA, so they lag. I know what it's like because I play on NA as well, and the lag is crazy. It's very annoying. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Just let me know what you guys want to see like next, okay? What are you most interested in? Arena 2v2 threes, BGs, regular BGs, RBGs, trying out dumb experiments, or just going and ganking Stormwind? But I tried that, it doesn't work. So what do you guys want to see next? Let me know, and thanks a lot for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video or on Twitch. See ya!